Hello there, and this is going to be a little bit different of a video. I'm going to talk about history lessons. So if you want to know about a history lesson, you definitely want to know about this one. Now, there's a little disturbance, to mildly say it, out in California about who may have a legal right to be on that land. So I went and I talked to my chat GP, FG, HI, whatever that thing is, talk to. And we had an interesting conversation. Yes. Well, I knew about the basics. I just needed to know the detail. And how far did it go? Oh, back, let me see if I got this right. Hold on. Ooh. Oh, dang, I shouldn't have done that. That's okay. I'll pick that up in a minute. So I need my glasses because eyesight has gone to crap. So, back in 1846, 1849, there was a little thing called the Mexican-American War. And at the end of that war, long story short, it involved some Confederate soldiers running away, Alamo, a bunch of stuff. Anyway, during this conflict, Mexico succeeded or gave up certain lands to America. In other words, we annexed them. Okay? These are the areas that we annexed from them. California, Nevada, Utah, New Mexico, Arizona, parts of Colorado, Wyoming, and Kansas. That is basically all the Southwest. It is. It's all the Southwest. How come Texas and Oklahoma's missing from that little deal is beyond me. But anyway, the thing is that when you tell people, go back to where you came from, you need to get out of these people's land. That's not yours. It's not ours. We took that land in a war between 1846 and 1848. Yes, 1846, 1848. We took all that land away from Mexico. Because the Mexicans were like, Mexico's for Mexicans. And we stole their land. We stole their land. Like we did from the Native Americans, which, Trail of Tears. Whole other. Yeah. So history lesson. And that's not the end of it, because the Spanish-American War was when we went to war with Spain and we stole Puerto Rico, Guam, the Philippines, and Cuba. But Cuba had other ideas. They didn't want to be part of us. I don't blame them. But anyway, I would want to be my own sovereign country too. We had the Mexican-American War, and they say Mexico ceding, they let it go because we took it from them. Again, all this is a moot point because we all come from somewhere else. Unless you are an indigenous person to this country, you come from somewhere else. Let me get this little, yeah, there we go. Here I go. Anyway. Oh, and another thing. To the women that look like me, you are not part of the elite. We'll call it that. You're not part of the elite. You're part of the marginalized people. And the sooner you realize that, the sooner we can fix the problem. And if you want to know if women are part of the marginalized people, or what, people that, women that look like me, okay, women that look like me, it's real simple. Ask yourself one question. Do you have rights to your own bodily autonomy? Because if the answer is no, then you are not part of the group. Okay? You're not part of the group. Sit your ass all the way down. Other people try to warn you, but no, you have to pretend that you are part of the the um the collective. We'll call it the collective. Oh, I'm so angry right now. I'm so angry in so many ways I cannot tell you. I read the syllabus. I read the syllabus. I understood the assignment, and everyone warned you this was gonna happen. But oh no, no. And while we're on the subject, do you know how a tank moves? You see, unless you're in the military, you don't know how a tank moves. I'll clue you in. I'll clue all the little fans in. Yeah, they don't run on tires. Okay? Yeah, they run on a thing called tracks. And what this track does, it has these grids that it locks it to the ground and literally pulls the vehicle forward. Yeah, you should see what's going on in the army base when they move them buggers around. You see the tank tracks because the ground is all screwed up. Now, I ain't gonna watch Mango Mussolini's celebration by no means, but I am curious to see how many gas lines they pop going down the street. And I'll tell you why. Them buggers are heavy. Heavy. And civilian streets are not equipped to handle that kind of weight. So I'm just wondering. And then of course, anyone who has ever been anywhere near a tank knows them buggers sometimes leak a lot of gas. Oil, excuse me, oil, not gas, oil. And not just any oil. Again, civilian oil and military oil, different. It's a different quality, let's say it that way. So you got the possible mains popping, you got possible oil leaking, you got definitely the streets are gonna possibly be torn up. The only way that they can have the tanks going down the street and not tearing it up is if they ride on flatbeds. But I don't know if that's going to satisfy Mango's Mussolini's fragile ego. So, I don't know. I just thought I'd be on here. Just a little update on that history lesson. When it comes to a place like Colorado and Arizona. And yeah, that was never ours. But none of this was never ours. We just came across the water and said, this is ours, and Trail of Tears, and then we just and we used to be a penal colony. They don't tell you that in school. Yeah, we used to be a penal colony, but that's a whole other video. Anyway, if you like these little walkie talks with me, let me know and I'll do more of them. Because I am full of knowledge or something. Anyway, you have a great day, Hans. We're going to hope for the best, prepare for the worst, and I guarantee you kids we're all going to end up somewhere in the middle and resist. Always be resisting. Bye.